Uhuru! I'm Valerie Bronte of Uhuru Solidarity Movement, the organization of white people. I'm Valerie Bronte from the Uhuru Solidarity Movement, the organization of white people organizing for white reparations to African people, working under the leadership of the African People's Socialist Party. Welcome to the February 16th Solidarity Spear Study Live. Please share this to your timelines, share this to groups, invite your friends, your comrades, your family who you think might be interested in learning more about what real progressive material solidarity with Black power looks like, is in action, is happening right now. So as you're getting in here, please share this study to your timelines, share this to groups that you're a part of that discuss anti-imperialism, anti-colonialism, reparations, social justice. We have a really great program today. I want to salute my leadership and the leadership of the Uhuru Solidarity Movement, the founder of the Uhuru Movement and chairman of the African People's Socialist Party USA and chairman of African Socialist International, Chairman Omali Yeshitela, for creating African internationalism, the materialist political worldview and science that describes the conditions of colonialism from the perspective of the African working class and how Black power, both economic and political, will destroy colonialism. Uhuru. My special guest today is Chairwoman of the African People's Solidarity Committee, Penny Hess. I'm just going to text with her right now. She's having some issues with her laptop, so I'm going to bring her on live over FaceTime. I'm just going to make sure. All right, Uhuru. I want to say Uhuru to Paula Lipsy, tuning in from Arizona and sharing to her timeline. Thank you, comrade. Uhuru Diane Batiste, sharing from Costa Rica. Uhuru, comrade. Uhuru Evan Garner, sharing from Asheville, North Carolina. Thank you, comrade. Yes, Uhuru, comrades, thank you. So yeah, get in here, share this to your timelines, share this to groups. Penny Hess will be on shortly over FaceTime. We just had a little bit of technical difficulties, so we're starting a little bit late. So again, salute to the leadership of and founder of the Uhuru Movement, chairman of the African People's Socialist Party, Chairman Omali Yeshitela, who founded African internationalism and the strategy for white people to be in principled material solidarity with African liberation. As members of our Uhuru Solidarity Movement, we have 3 principles of unity. Number 1, we work under the leadership of and we are accountable to the African People's Socialist Party, who formed the Solidarity Committee in 1976. Number 2, African people have the right to lead their own struggle. We organize in the white community for reparations. That's number 3. So the African People's Socialist Party, like I said, it's led by Chairman Omali Yeshitela. It was founded in 1972, and it was formed by the merging of 3 organizations. JOMO, the Junta of Militant Organizations, the Black Rights Fighters from Fort Myers, Florida, and the Black Study Group of Gainesville, Florida. And it leads the struggle of the African working class and oppressed masses against parasitic capitalism, colonialism, and Western imperialism for total African liberation. Party recognizes that Black people are not a race or a color. They are a nation of people whose birthright is Africa. They are African wherever colonialism has displaced them. And additionally, the African People's Socialist Party recognizes that African people within the US colonial borders are domestically, that is, internally colonized, and they've had their labor and resources stolen by white power. The African People's Socialist Party leads 30 institutions of economic development and Black power self-determination, including the Black Power Blueprint campaign of the African People's Economic and Defense Fund. The Solidarity Movement was formed in 1976 by the African People's Socialist Party. It is the most unique feature of the Uhuru Movement is that Chairman Omali Yeshitela has made the revolutionary demand for white reparations to African people a household word. So in 1976, the chairman solved the question what to do with white people in the African liberation struggle and formed the African People's Solidarity Committee, led by Chairwoman Penny Hess, who has dedicated 40 8 years of her life to reparations work. The word reparations means payment or repair for damage done, and the demand is growing around the world for reparations for colonialism, parasitic capitalism, and imperialism. So white people owe reparations. All white people owe reparations, and it's not just for labor value of chattel slavery and, you know, the stolen labor and lives of enslaved African people, but as Penny Hess has written, the enslavement of African people is the cornerstone upon which the wealth and power of the US and Europe is built. So for more than 500 years, the rape and colonization of Africa, along with the genocide of the indigenous people and the domination of the majority of the world. So Uhuru Solidarity Movement and African People's Solidarity Committee is the organization of white people who understand that our interest is not on the sinking ship of imperialism, but with a totally liberated future where no one group has their boot on the necks of the rest of the world. So our guest presenter today is going to be Chairwoman Penny Hess of the African People's Solidarity Committee. She wrote this month article in White Solidarity with Black Power, Be Like Che, an example of disciplined cadre, and revolutionary solidarity with African liberation. She's also the author of Overturning the Culture of Violence and All Diamonds Are Blood Diamonds, and the African People's Solidarity Committee. She's been the chairwoman since 1976. She leads the Solidarity Cadre. The APSC is the Solidarity Cadre organization, and USM is the Mass Front. So as white people, we are under the leadership of the African People's Socialist Party, and as such, we study the Burning Spear newspaper every week. So I want to take this moment to salute Burning Spear editorial staff and the director of the Department of Agitprop of the African People's Socialist Party, Director Akili Anayi, Burning Spear managing editor Olafina Kemba, and the entire editorial staff that brings the oldest Black Power revolutionary newspaper to the masses every month, uninterrupted, since 1968, when Jomo first started publishing the Burning Spear. So the Burning Spear is the voice of the International African Revolution. And it's a print and online newspaper, and it's published every month by the African People's Socialist Party. It understands the entire world today and all the world's events today through the political lens of African internationalism, which was founded by Chairman Omali Yeshitela. We study the Burning Spear because as white people, we can't properly understand or articulate the conditions of colonialism from our perspective. We are the oppressor nation. We have our existence parasitically on the pedestal of colonialism by which we, the rest of the world, take advantage of the rest of the world. The rest of the world lives to feed and clothe us, and we pillage their resources, and we exploit their labor. So as such, we can't come to the conclusions that colonized people can about their own conditions, about what is necessary to overturn them. And that's why we must be under the leadership of the African working class, whose interests in total African liberation will liberate the entire world. So why do we say Uhuru? We say Uhuru a lot in this movement, and it's the Swahili word for freedom. And it's to keep freedom on the mind 24/7. So I want to salute Chairwoman Penny for this fabulous article and begin the reading from the February 2019 Burning Spear newspaper. We also have the article online, so be sure to click on the link. I want to salute our moderator, Johan Bedingfield. All right, Uhuru Mads, thanks for joining us on the Spear Study today. Uhuru Penny is in St. Pete. I'm going to bring Penny on shortly to discuss this article that Penny wrote for the February Burning Spear newspaper, Be Like Che, an example of disciplined cadre and revolutionary solidarity with African liberation. And there's a picture of Ernesto Che Guevara. He was a leader in the Cuban Revolution, and Che in the Democratic Republic of Congo, providing aid in the struggle against US imperialism shortly before the CIA had him murdered. column editor Penny Hess, chair of the African People's Solidarity Committee, travel to any corner of the globe and you will find someone wearing a t-shirt bearing the face of the beloved heroic guerrilla Che Guevara, whose life of resistance and revolutionary struggle continues to inspire freedom-loving people today. Born in Argentina in 1928, Che was the comandante of the Cuban People's Revolutionary Army, which was victorious in 1959. In 1967, he was brutally assassinated by the Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, in Bolivia, where he was leading a people's guerrilla struggle. Upheld by the masses of oppressed and colonized peoples throughout the world, Che will forever be seen as the martyr of the courageous struggle of the oppressed peoples for liberation and self-determination against US imperialism. Legions of young white people in the US wear Che shirts. His iconic image with a beret and beard is cool, romantic, and at times trendy. It takes more than a beret, a beard, or a camo shirt, however, to actually live like Che. Che was cadre, a dedicated, disciplined revolutionary who, as part of a revolutionary organization, did whatever was necessary to forward the struggle of oppressed peoples of the earth. In The Cadres, Backbone of the Revolution, written in 1962, during the early days of liberated Cuba, Che explained, quote, "We should say that a cadre person is an individual of ideological and administrative discipline who knows and practices democratic centralism and who knows how to evaluate the existing contradictions in this method and to utilize fully its many facets, who knows how to practice the principle of collective discussion and to make decisions on his own and take responsibility in production, whose loyalty is tested, and whose physical and moral courage has developed along with his ideological development in such a way that he is always willing to confront any conflict and to give his life for the good of the revolution. Also, he is an individual capable of self-analysis, which enables him to make the necessary decisions and to exercise creative initiative in such a manner that it won't conflict with discipline. Intimately tied to the concept of cadre is the capacity for sacrifice, for demonstrating through personal example the truths and watchwords of the revolution. The cadres, as political leaders, should gain the respect of the workers by their actions. It is absolutely imperative that they count on the respect and affection of their compañeros, whom they should guide along the vanguard paths. To be cadre is to be organized under the leadership of the African working class. As the crisis of imperialism deepens daily, as every front of imperialist white power and parasitic capitalism crumble, exposing the raw, brutal, disgusting nature of the beast, thousands of white people, young and old, are searching for answers and direction for making a new world, seeing the heroic resistance of young African people on the US streets and in the fight back of young Palestinians on the streets of Gaza. Many of us are searching for revolution. We reject our lives of mindless consumerism, ignorance of convenience, and self-imposed isolation from everyone else that comes to us at the price of terror and violence against colonized peoples. We reject life on the pedestal of the capitalist social system built on the stolen labor, land, and resources of enslaved African people, slaughtered indigenous people, and oppressed and colonized people around the world. We detest this government's assumptions of our unity with the gunning down and locking up of African people and the drone strikes, imposed impoverishment, and military occupation of the majority of humanity in our name. We want to be a part of the world community, not parasites sucking its blood. We want reparations to African people. We want justice and genuine peace. We want to be like Che. Fortunately, there is the African People's Socialist Party, the disciplined revolutionary cadre organization and leader of the African working class, fighting for the complete and total unification and liberation of Africa and African people everywhere, led by the African working class. The party is fighting for the defeat of imperialism and white power. The African People's Socialist Party is led by Chairman Omali Yeshitela, who developed the political theory of African internationalism and who has fought to keep alive and complete the Black Revolution for more than 50 years. Like Che and other revolutionaries before him, Chairman Omali Yeshitela has been jailed, attacked, and beaten for his unwavering and principled stand upholding the African working class. Over the years, the party has built numerous mass organizations meeting the needs of the people and waged countless campaigns fighting back the state's attacks on the African working class. The party has built organized revolutionary resistance against everything from police terror, mass imprisonment, housing and homelessness, and the conditions of African children in the colonial schools. The party has built scores of economic institutions representing self-determination for African people. The party has stood in principled unity with the indigenous and Mexican people, the Palestinians, the Nicaraguans, Irish, and all oppressed and struggling peoples. The party has built the African Socialist International with organization on the ground throughout the US, Europe, and Africa. Chairman O'Malley and the African People's Socialist Party has withstood countless attacks by the US government and those doing its bidding who attempt to bring down the only organization fighting to win the economic and political power for the oppressed African masses. The party has extended the African Revolution into the white community by creating the African People's Solidarity Committee, APSC. The work of APSC is to win other white people to recognize our interests in standing in solidarity with African liberation movement and reparations to the African Revolution as the foundation of the liberated African economy. This is how we become true revolutionaries, by fighting for true socialism. Capitalism was born as white power on the backs of African people. Socialism will be born with the destruction of parasitic capitalism under the leadership of the African working class. To join APSC is to become cadre, to genuinely stand with Che. Get organized under the leadership of the organized African working class, building a new world without the oppressors and the oppressed, without war and suffering, a world in which all human beings will be free, no one at the expense of another. Email info@apscuhuru.org. Unity through reparations. Uhuru, Chairwoman Penny. This is an incredibly powerful and mobilizing article. It's, of course, Che's famous quote comes to mind during this time of year when we are confronted with the parasitism of capitalist love, that we remember that the only true noble love is the love of the people, is solidarity with the liberation of all people. And I am honored to bring African People's Solidarity Committee Chairwoman Penny Hess onto the Solidarity Spear Study Live to discuss her article and African People's Solidarity Committee. The only true noble love is the love of the people, is solidarity. This is a little bit of a delay. I'm honored to bring African People's Solidarity Committee Chairwoman Penny Hess onto the Solidarity. Uhuru, Chairwoman Penny, can you hear me?
Uhuru, I can hear you.
You're just going to be a little bit of a delay on the laptop, but if you just turn it on, it will broadcast. It will broadcast. If you just turn the volume down on the laptop, it will broadcast just fine.
Oh, I muted it.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I want to thank you for being flexible with our technical difficulty today. I'm going to try and get this to a comfortable level. But thank you so much for joining us today. This is an incredible article, and I would love for you to give an overview and summation of this article, and a little bit about the history of the African People's Solidarity Committee. And then I have a couple of questions to deepen our discussion. Uhuru,
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Great. Well, I just really want to salute you, Valerie, and for holding this study every week. You and Uhuru Solidarity Movement, it's really powerful. I want to join you in saluting Director Akile Anayi and the staff of the Burning Fair, which has been coming out since 1968. And, just Comrade Johan and everybody who helps you produce this, as well as everybody who's on the call. So it's very exciting to be here. And, just want to say that I think that we live in a time, as the chairman said, of the deepening crisis of imperialism, when all over the world, the U.S. is facing defeat, and therefore it is carrying out very drastic and desperate moves, such as its attack on Venezuela, which we see right now. We see, the U.S. in Syria, in Afghanistan, getting ass kicked, getting kicked out of there. We see the U.S. attempting to maintain its power all around the world, but it is not able to because of the resistance of African people inside U.S. borders and around the world. But I think that, we see a new generation of African people, young African people, in a state of resistance and a powerful consciousness that they are Africans, that they are one people around the world. We see this tremendous expansion of the Uhuru movement and the African People's Socialist Party in Africa, in Southern Africa, where the young people have already organized in 3 cities in Gauteng province, which is the province where Johannesburg is located. These are young African people who live in the so-called townships, which is a horrible euphemism for, an existence of in corrugated tin shacks with no clean water, no plumbing, deepest poverty, where the majority of African workers are forced to live on their own land. And these young people have never been in a restaurant. They've never taken an Uber or a taxi. They live in incredible poverty, but they have the desire to not only organize everywhere throughout occupied Tanzania, which is South Africa, but throughout the entire African continent. And we see, it's just in London, I had the honor of being able to go there, where Chairman Omali Shatella spoke and won resounding victory at the Oxford Union, which people can see that video on Facebook and on YouTube. And, and to see the party building in England and, United Kingdom, so-called, and in France and Paris, and in the middle of all of this resistance that's going on there with an African movement called the Red Vests. So, we just see the party building, the Black Power blueprint. We see it in Philadelphia. We see it in Oakland. We see this tremendous work in Texas. And, there's this rapid growth. And I think that this is part of what we're seeing among young white people, the desire to be socialist. We have these different young Democratic Party people who are saying, well, yeah, you can be socialist and capitalist at the same time, which is absolutely ridiculous, because socialism means that the workers have power. And it's nothing to do with, having health care for all. I mean, that's not what makes something socialist. What makes a system socialist is when African workers have control over the means of production, and they run the state. They carry out the work of the state. So, I just think that there is by young white people who are very disillusioned with the system, who don't want to be the oppressor on the planet, who want to join humanity, who want to be part of it, but don't know how to do that. And that's why we have to look at the science, because just talking about what we ought to do or what we could do is not going to change anything. The only thing, the science that it takes to make that kind of transformation and change means that there has to be a revolutionary party of the colonized African working class, which is our leadership, because we sit on the pedestal of the oppression of African people. Therefore, we are not going to and never have led a revolutionary struggle. We've only brought about things for our own interest and worked to maintain this pedestal of the oppression of African and oppressed people. So what we have to say is, we want to be socialist, but there's a science to how you do that. And that is being organized under the leadership of the African People's Socialist Party as part of the strategy for African revolution by extending the revolution into white society, so that we can be the voice of Black power in white face inside the belly of the beast, fighting for reparations to African people. So it's very exciting, and this is what we're trying to do right now, to bring science to white people who want to join the revolution and want to join the world and not be self-imposed, under self-imposed isolation from everybody else, carrying out the interests of white power. We want to join the world. I think many of us do that. So there is a way to do it, and that is to be in the African People's Solidarity Committee under the leadership of the organized African working class.
Uhuru, I completely unite. It has been a total honor to be a part of Uhuru Solidarity Movement, the mass organization of the African People's Solidarity Committee. I want to salute the decades of dedication that you've given to the Solidarity Committee, to truly principled, truly progressive stance of real, material, genuine solidarity with African liberation. And that's really what is the unique feature of the African People's Solidarity Committee, is that we're under the leadership of the African People's Socialist Party, the Revolutionary Vanguard, the advanced detachment of the African working class, and we pay reparations. And we are building the culture of reparations in the white community as an extension of the International African Revolution under the leadership of the party. So I have, this is just an incredible article, and also an incredibly amazing time to be alive, to really see exactly, as you're saying, this deep desire, deep need, deep motivation to see a different world, to see a liberated future for all people, for all children all over the world. And I would say that young people are certainly by far, that still retaining the necessary faith and the necessary revolutionary love of the people to bring this about, and bring it about with urgency. And it's just an exciting time to be playing a role in this solidarity work, and I'm just incredibly honored to be a part of it. So, we were talking about Che Guevara, but why is Che so beloved around the world? Somebody who had started their life as a bourgeois physician, and then became almost synonymous with the struggle for the liberation of colonized people around the world.
I've read many biographies of Che, and I would recommend the one by John Anderson, which is pretty thorough. And I've also read all of Che's own books, of his own diaries of when he was fighting in the Sierra Madre, of when he was fighting in Bolivia, when he was fighting in Congo, in Africa. And just to read his own words about what he stood for. And I think that Che represented the victory of African and oppressed and colonized peoples around the world, and was therefore an inspiration for the entire world in a time when revolution, as the chairman says, was the main trend in the whole world. When Cuba was winning its liberation, when after China won its liberation, after India won, after, when the struggle for Nicaragua, for Azania was going on, the struggle for Angola, Mozambique, Cape Verde, all these, these struggles, you pick up the newspaper and all of these national liberation struggles were in the news every single day, and you could read things about it. It was so, you could taste it. You could taste it in the air. You could feel it. For me and my generation, even in the 1960s, Vietnam, Vietnam, the struggle of the heroic Vietnamese people was something that just set the tone, was the inspiration, along with the African liberation movement inside the borders of the United States and around the world, was, just galvanized a generation of oppressed and colonized peoples around the world. Of course, Huey Newton in that period was invited to China, invited to Vietnam, and you just felt the world changing before you. You felt that everything was possible, that there was, nobody that was in college of white people actually went to class or anything like that. You were out. You didn't take these things seriously because you knew that a whole new world was coming. And Che Guevara exemplified that. They say that he was so loved that in the period when he was still in Cuba after the revolution, there were meetings of the Organization of American States, the OAS. That is basically a US imperialist, organization. And they would go to meetings somewhere, maybe in Argentina, Chile, different places. And when the American envoy would get off the plane, nobody would greet them. But when Che would get off the plane to be coming to that meeting, thousands of people were out with flowers and, and drums and music playing and revolutionary songs and banners and, because the people loved Che and the people loved revolution, and he exemplified that. And I think that people still love revolution. They still want revolution. We still need it more so than ever because the U.S. government waged a counterinsurgency that assassinated the leaders, Patrice Lumumba, and the leaders of the African Revolution around the world and inside the United States, assassinated Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Bobby Hutton, and Fred Hampton, and so many more. People like Assata Shakur, who was given exile and welcomed by Cuba, but who could never step foot back in the United States because there's a $2 million bounty on her head. When this counterinsurgency that the U.S. put out as a strategy to defeat the revolutionary movements inside the United States and around the world, both politically, both organizationally, killing their leaders, and also ideologically, working really hard to wipe out the ideas of revolution. And that, only the African People's Socialist Party has kept that alive. Only Chairman Omali Yeshitela has kept that alive. And in 1967, the U.S. government slaughtered and killed Che as he was on a guerrilla campaign in Bolivia, in the mountains of Bolivia, and he and other comrades were murdered. And when they got Che, when they captured Che, the U.S. This was coordinated by the CIA with some forces, and there were, just so vicious. There's a CIA agent who testified in the Iran-Contra hearings because he also participated in the attack on Nicaragua after the Sandinistas won in 1979. And when he testified, he showed his watch and he said, "This is Che Guevara's watch. I still wear it." Because when they killed Che, the person whose responsibility or whatever it was to actually shoot Che was drunk. He was totally drunk. And Che said, "Go ahead, coward, and kill a man." And, they killed him. And they then took photographs, which you can actually see if you go on, if you search it on Google Images, you can see the photographs of Che with his eyes. He's dead, but his eyes are open. And, was just so deeply disturbing that they had to show, like, they proved that Che was dead, that they killed him because he had a mythological, characteristic that people believed, just as they did with Marcus Garvey. They could not believe or would not accept that he was dead when he died. And he was also seriously attacked by U.S. government counterinsurgency and exiled, put in prison and exiled. I mean, every time, the struggle for liberation, there's 100% U.S. government attack on it. But people have continued to uphold and love Che because he represents the people, because he represents the interests of the working class and poor and impoverished of the colonized countries, because he represents uncompromising struggle for national liberation and a struggle against US imperialism, that it must be destroyed and wiped off the face of the earth, just as Chairman Omali Yeshitela does and has kept alive, the only person and the only organization who has kept us alive throughout this entire period in which counterinsurgency gained power over the revolution in so many ways, because of slaughter, because of neo-colonialism, setting up their own puppets to carry out the interests of white power, because of a war of ideas to wipe out any revolutionary thought and aspirations, and also because in the United States, in particular, the U.S. government completed or deepened the counterinsurgency by imposing crack cocaine and deadly drugs as chemical warfare against the African communities, and building massive prison and mass incarceration of African people, which I just read. I just want to say, I just read a statistic the other day that 65% of African people in the United States have reported a close family member in prison at one time or another, 65%. So this is counterinsurgency. This is a war against the ability of African people to organize and struggle for their freedom. Chairman Omali has kept that alive, is fighting for that. The African Revolution is on the ascendancy again, because of the absolute commitment and cadre stance of chairman of the African People's Socialist Party, and keeping alive what it was, the fight for national liberation as the key force in the world that was so much exemplified by the life and stand of Che Guevara.
Uhuru. And yeah, and I think that people who are not familiar with organization might not really understand why cadre is of such importance. And so, why is it so important, and why are we talking about cadre and solidarity right now?
I think that I just want to say that, cadre, like Che said, like you read, means a disciplined unity, first of all, with the political understandings, and that is, what the chairman calls African internationalism, understanding the world through the point of view of the African working class and poor. So this is really critical, because all of our thought, especially as white people, is permeated by the ideas of imperialism that come out in every movie that we see, every TV show, every song that tells you that the main problem is you lost your love, and love is the answer, and all of these things. And we just went through Valentine's Day, a $20 billion fundraiser for imperialism, that is about like telling us that individualism, the pursuit of our individual happiness, all of these things are what we're supposed to take care of ourselves. We're supposed to, just meditate and enjoy our whatever we have, our vacations and our dinner we always go out to dinner and spend $400 because we have several bottles of wine. Just that the white petty bourgeoisie and the white workers who have the highest standard of living in the world, with a boat, a car, that everything is like get ahead in the system, work hard, do what you're supposed to do, and life will be good for you, and that is what you should aspire to. And that in order to change that, in order to really change it, because I do hear a lot of white people say, what we need to do is this, what we need to do is that, whether it's about climate change or anything else. But the fact is, there is a state. It's not going to let you get rid of fossil fuels because the oil interests control the state, and are part of what controls the state. And the state has the largest nuclear arsenal in the world. It has 800 military bases around the world. That the state has to be fought. So how does an organization do that? Well, the organization of the African working class does that, just as the Vietnamese did, because they had a working class party, just as the Chinese did at that time, by incorporating the worldview and ideas and interests of the colonized working class into what it is, and having no compromise with the petty bourgeoisie, with white power, all the other ideas and aspirations that permeate into everything else that we do. And that has to be there. And then they build an organization with dedicated cadre, meaning cadre is the French word for frame or framework. And it means that the cadre are the frame that hold it up. So no matter what you are assigned to do, you do it. No matter what problem has to be solved, you do it. No matter how hard the war is, you fight it. You solve the problems, raise the resources, win the people, organize them. Because imperialism has media, it has trillions of dollars, it has the state, it has, every possible thing that it could have. But
it has all the wealth of Africa. It has all the wealth of all the colonized people of the world.
Exactly, from stealing that. But the thing is that the only thing that the oppressed and colonized people have is organization. Only thing. And the strength of the organization is based on cadre. It is based on what is called democratic centralism, which is the ironclad unity with African internationalism and carrying it out in practice, putting an idea into practice. So that's why African internationalism is a theory of practice. It's not something that you can sit around in the cafe and just speculate on or think is cool. You have to carry it out for it to be real and valid. And that's what the party is doing. And it has to fight for that. It has to fight for that because, again, the ideas, the bourgeois ideas of imperialism attempt to bombard even colonized people every single day in the interest of the African petty bourgeoisie, have to be kept out of this. This is about the interest of the African working class, which has fought every war for African liberation, but which has never been able to come to power in its own interest. That's what the African People's Socialist Party represents. So that's why if we are carrying out our work as under the leadership of the African People's Socialist Party, with our assignment in the white community, we have to fight as cadre, as unity, with democratic centralism and African internationalism as, in the same way as cadre of the African Revolution, because that is our assignment. And it means going up against everything that we've ever learned, everything that, we're taught in school and church and Girl Scouts and college and getting a master's degree, everything, everything that you know how white society is. Like, you're not supposed to take anything too seriously. Everything's supposed to be kind of funny. It's not going to challenge anybody. It's not going to get anybody out of its comfort zone. You know, these are the things that we go up against. And yet we live in a system that is so drenched in the blood of African and oppressed people. It's waging war and suffering, mayhem, chaos, rape, and plunder every place on this planet in our name, and we're complicit with it. But, you know, we're supposed to just be light and, you know, all this kind of thing. So this means it's a challenge to be a cadre. That's why it has to have criticism and self-criticism. That's a key component of being cadre. It has to, this is part of it. We have to struggle. This organization and this process of being a revolutionary is not about talking about somebody behind your back, because that's what we do under imperialism. Mm-hmm. We're like, oh, you know, oh, I can't stand that, blah, blah, blah. And this organization, no, we have to tell people and tell each other, no, you can't do that. And here's why, because that does not carry out the revolutionary goals. When you do so-and-so, that's an error. That holds back the forward motion of the whole organization. And therefore, we, your comrades, are telling you how we have to move. And we have to be open to, oh, my feelings are hurt.
Yeah, absolutely.
But in fact, we have to welcome it and say, thank you. Thank you for telling me that. And I am going to analyze my errors because I want to do this right. So it's a whole different way. It's a whole different way of being. It is the African working class. And it's really powerful, really liberating from just all the shit, excuse me, but all the shit of imperialism that's all around us that, you know, because just as so many white people want to become socialists, so many others are committing suicide, taking opioid drugs, and becoming alcoholics and dying from that. Well, we don't have to do that, but we can and should commit class suicide, national suicide, so that we're saying, you know, I'm jumping off this pedestal, and the only way I can do that is to be under the leadership of the African working class. The African working class is going to lead. It is the largest revolutionary force inside the belly of imperialism. It is the weak link. The U.S. government recognized that, even as white people and white leftists have never recognized that. Mm-hmm. In the 1960s, when COINTELPRO was unleashed, the counterinsurgent program that assassinated the leaders such as Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, when J. Edgar Hoover of the FBI said that the Black liberation movement was the greatest internal threat to the U.S. government since the Civil War, it recognized that, you know, that it had to be crushed, and that would get rid of all the militancy of the white students and you know, and everybody else, and so it did happen that way. So, you know, this is a thing, and we want to, you know, I am a socialist because I'm under the leadership of the African working class socialist organization, revolutionary organization. I'm a revolutionary. I believe that imperialism has to be destroyed. There is no compromise with it. There is no reforming of it. There's no getting along with it. It has to go. It has to go. Even the planet itself is being destroyed by the same trajectory of destroying whole civilizations of human beings. You know, they say, well, humanity's going extinct. Well, hundreds of millions of indigenous and African people have gone extinct already as part of this. You know, white people are feeling that.
Entire civilizations, entire cultures, entire languages, entire customs and traditions have all been wiped out, have all been made extinct by imperialism, by European colonialism. And, and that, it's really important what you're saying here about the cadre dedication to struggle, to principled struggle, and in criticism and in self-criticism, because that is really the test of the loyalty to the revolution. That is really the test of the love of the people, of the revolutionary love and faith in the people, that the African working class will lead the colonized masses of the world to liberation. And that, and if you're not willing to make principled struggle of criticism and self-criticism, then you don't have that love for the people. You don't have that cadre stance. You don't have that discipline.
Uhuru, that's so true. And, we don't live in a period when we can have a choice. There's not going to be a future unless, unless African people win power, win Africa back, unite it and liberate it, because white people, believe me, are not going to solve the problems of this planet. African people, capitalism can't solve what it created. It will never solve, the problems that it left here. But African people will solve it. Indigenous people will solve it when they are in power, when they have control over their lives. This is the only way. We live in special times. We don't live in a time when we have a choice. I feel that is absolutely the key thing.
It's a life or death question right now.
We have a choice. We have to be part of revolution, and to do that, we have to be under the leadership of the African working class.
And a way that white people can ensure that they are doing everything they can to take a progressive, principled cadre stance of solidarity with liberation of all colonized people on this planet is to return the stolen resources of 600 years of European attack on Africa, the resources, the people of Africa, and the indigenous people of this continent and of South America. And what we can do is put a bullet in imperialism's chest with every dollar that we return to the International African Revolution. So every week, because like Penny said, this is a theory of practice, as the extension of the African Revolution in the belly of the beast of the white community, we raise reparations to the programs of the Black Power Blueprint through the Solidarity Spear Study Live every week. Our goal tonight is $100, and we already have 2 pledges made. And I want to say that, as appreciation for the study, for the weekly political education that we're able to have, thanks to the Burning Spear newspaper and the leadership of the African People's Socialist Party, giving white people a progressive, principled stance that they can take in the struggle for all the colonized people of the world to be free and for white power to be crushed. This is it. This is it. So go to uhurusolidarity.org, put your pledge in the comments so we can tabulate all of the pledges for tonight, and I will start to announce our pledges that we got earlier on. One was from Mads Ambrose, Uhuru from Portland, Oregon. Mads, Uhuru comrades, I'm at work, but I want to give $10 towards the goal for today. Unity through reparations. Uhuru Mads, thank you so much for your support of the Solidarity Spear Study. You're doing incredible work out in Portland, building USM in Portland. Very, very, very excited and honored to have you participating in the study today, comrade. Uhuru Evan Garner from Asheville, North Carolina. I can return $10 in stolen resources to this study on Thursday, comrades. Uhuru, we are now at $20 of our $100 goal. Please put your pledge in the comments. Go to uhurusolidarity.org/donate/pay-reparations. Our moderator, Johan, should be posting that link shortly. I'm going to try and post it in there now. I don't see it yet. Oh, there it is. Okay, great. All right, Uhuru. Okay, so we have so many incredible events coming up. I'm just really Really excited to let everybody know about everything that we have a speaking tour that will be throughout the U.S. starting February 23rd. The USM National Convention is happening April 13th and 14th in St. Louis, Missouri. I want to go through our announcements, but I also want to let everybody know that our Ella Baker Sustaining Membership Drive is going on right now. It has a beautiful give back of an Ella Baker poster. I just got mine in the mail the other day, but we want to invite you not only to return reparations to this study, to the Black Power Blueprint programs for economic development and self-determination in St. Louis, Missouri, but we also want you to join our Uhuru Solidarity Movement. We have many different levels of membership. You could become a sustaining member today, and that could be $5 a month, it could be $10 a month, it could be $25 a month, or it could be $100 a month, which is the Ella Baker level. But you need to be a part of this work, and it is an urgent call for white people to do something to make a positive and progressive and principled stance of reparations to African people and solidarity with Black power. So I want to salute the comrades who have given to the study today, who are returning resources to the study today. And we're going to talk a little bit about the Black Power Blueprint. We're in phase 3.1 in St. Louis right now. So the offices on the third floor of the Uhuru House, which opened last spring, are being having the final touches of renovation. The outdoor venue across the street for the One Africa, One Nation Marketplace and Community Gardens is getting outdoor lighting and pavement. The fourplex in North St. Louis is being renovated to house the participants of the African Independence Workforce Training Program, which will be hosted by the Uhuru Jiko Community Commercial Kitchen, which will be opening in 2019 as part of the Black Power Blueprint. It will be a bakery, cafe, and new flagship store for Uhuru Foods and Pies. That's just, there's just no stop, there's no break, there's no time off, there's no vacation in the programs of the Uhuru movement and delivering on their mission to the African working class communities that lead them and participate in them. So that's where the money goes, towards the Black Power Blueprint and Black Star Industries, which underwrites Uhuru Foods and Pies, which underwrites Uhuru Furniture and Collectibles in Philadelphia and Oakland. Uhuru Foods and Pies is now in St. Petersburg and has been in Oakland, California for over 38 years. So I want to say Uhuru to Virginia Wilson from Louisville, Kentucky. $5 today in reparations. Thank you for the study. That brings us to $25. Uhuru Ron Hudson pledging $25. Uhuru Ron Hudson. That's wonderful. We are now at $50 for the study. I wanted to just be sure to let everybody know that on this Tuesday at 8 p.m., the Black Power Blueprint webinar series will return with Black community control of our food. It will be live on youtube.com/Black Power Blueprint. You can join Bakari Olatunji, Sayali Moyenda, and others from Uhuru Foods and Pies in Oakland. We'll be summing up the struggle for the African community control of food, clothing, and shelter in the face of rampant gentrification and colonial attacks on African people. Again, that's February 19th, this Tuesday at 8 p.m. And then February 23rd kicks off the All Diamonds Are Blood Diamonds National Speaking Tour. Oh, wait, just one before that. February 23rd, 7:30 to 10 p.m. in St. Pete will be the Patrice Lumumba Film Night at St. Pete Community Acupuncture, Central Avenue, 1624 Central Avenue. And that is free. There's an Eventbrite link, Lumumba USM St. Pete.eventbrite.com to RSVP. But yes, February 23rd in Boston, ongoing through March 27th, stopping in New York, Philly, St. Pete, Gainesville, St. Louis, Louisville, Oakland, Seattle, with viewing parties in Portland. The All Diamonds Are Blood Diamonds tour will feature presentations from Yejide Oranmila, president of the African National Women's Association, Akilia Nai, the director of the Department of Agitprop of the African People's Socialist Party, USM Chair Jesse Neville, APSC Northern Coordinator Connor Voss, Chairwoman of the African People's Solidarity Committee, Penny Hess, will be presenting. Looking forward to all of these incredible dates coming up. April 13th and 14th again. Join us at the Uhuru Solidarity Movement 2019 National Convention in St. Louis, Missouri, at the historic St. Louis Uhuru House that opened its doors just last year thanks to the Black Power Blueprint. Saturdays, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to come back next weekend for the Uhuru Solidarity Movement Solidarity Spear Study Live. Sundays at 8 a.m. we receive political education, and the Omali Taught Me Political Study with Chairman Omali Yeshitela. That's 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube and on Facebook Live. We have upcoming meetings for our USM members, and for people interested in joining USM, join us Sundays at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to take the Reparations Challenge and learn more about raising resources in your area, holding a fundraiser, holding a dance party, holding a potluck, holding a yard sale for reparations to African people. Open mass meeting is every Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sundays at 7 p.m. in person and over Zoom. USM Seattle Spokane has their open meeting at Urban Work Lofts in Seattle. Mondays, 6:30 to 8, USM Boston has their open meeting at the Boston Public Library in Copley Square. Mondays, 6 to 8 p.m. in Asheville. USM Asheville has their open meeting at Firestorm Books and Coffee. Mondays, 6 p.m. Oops, I accidentally hit the wrong button. Mondays, 6 p.m. In St. Louis at the Lemp Neighborhood Arts Center. That is the open meeting for USM St. Louis. Monday, 6 p.m. USM St. Pete has their open meeting at Panera Bread on 4th Street North in St. Petersburg. Monday, 7 p.m. USM Oakland has their open meeting at Cafe Strata, 2300 College Avenue. This Wednesday, at TBG 616 East 9th Street between Avenues B and C, and USM New York City has their open meeting. Thursdays, 7 p.m., USM Philly has their open meeting at Good Karma Cafe on Pine Street in Philadelphia. And Fridays at 11 a.m. is the National Committee meeting to build the 2019 USM Convention. If you are an artist, a musician, Art for Reparations Fall 2019 benefit auction submissions are now open. Go to artforreparations.org. All right, so those are all of our incredible events that we have coming up in just a short period of time. I want to check the comments to see if we have any more pledges in. Uhuru, Diane Batiste, I pledged $25 in stolen resources on Friday to this study. Uhuru, that means that we have met our $75 goal. So we met $75 of our $100 goal. Can we get another $25 to make our goal? I'm going to return $10 to the study, and I want to thank Chairwoman Penny.
10 as well.
Uhuru, Chairwoman Penny.
Uhuru, Diane.
Uhuru. All right, so now we are now at $95 for the study. And I want to thank everybody for participating. We're at 7:06 p.m. This is an incredible article. I think that if you're interested in joining APSC, definitely get in touch with USM. Let us know about the commitment that you're interested in taking and making to reparations, to a lifestyle change, to building the culture of reparations to African people under the leadership of the African People's Socialist Party. It will completely change your life. So we have $5 left in our study. I want to give it back over to Penny for closing remarks.
Uhuru, Valerie, I really appreciate you and everybody who's here. This is so neat to be part of the Spear Study. I just, I was able to do it once before and it was great. It's so important. And just the fact that the Burning Spear is the newspaper of the African People's Socialist Party that has been coming out since 1968, the longest running African liberation journal in the entire world. I do want to make it clear that all my ideas and everything that I understand and I'm able to articulate are completely from the leadership of the African People's Socialist Party and Chairman Omali Yeshitela and the political understanding of African internationalism. These are not ideas that I would come to. I would not be able to understand these things except for the leadership of the chairman, which has created this organization of North Americans that lets us begin to embrace the understanding and ideology of the African working class as our own, which we can do and must do if we're going to be here in the future or be able to participate in any way in building this future. So, we have been part of the pedestal of the oppression of everybody else, every dream, every aspiration, every ability to send our kids to college and get everything else comes at the suffering of the African working class and impoverished people here and around the world. And it's a powerful thing to embrace African internationalism, join the world, get over your self-imposed isolation, our self-imposed isolation, and really feel part of humanity, of future, of all the possibilities of this future, which we generally don't feel. So this gives us the ability to know will be a better place when African people have power, have the return of their stolen resources, people have power, and white is wiped out forever. So just want to say unity through
reparations. Uhuru, comrade, thank you so much. It's been a total honor to have Chairwoman of the African People's Solidarity Committee, Penny Hess, to participate in today's Solidarity Spear Study. I'm going to put an extra $5 in to get us to our $100 goal because I hate uneven numbers. I have a terrible tick about that. So we've met our $100 goal. I want to thank all of our participants who joined us today, and I want to thank everyone who was concerned about me holding up the phone with my hand. I want to thank, of course, Penny for we were able to overturn our technical contradiction to be able to bring you a little bit of a split screen interview style today. I want to thank Ron Hudson, Diane Batiste, Mads, Ambrose, Evan. I want to thank Penny for contributing to the study today. Who else did we have on here? Ron Hudson, Virginia Wilson, yes, Virginia Wilson, Diane Batiste, and
we had Jim Hill from WBAI in New York City. We had Selah Ahmed Ibn Malachi. We had Jasmine D.N. We had Jetty Thompson Townsend, Evan Gardner, Virginia Wilson, Josh Bollinger. A lot of great comrades were on. So this has been very, very exciting and mad.
Uhuru. I want to close with Diane Batiste's comment. Yes, Penny, I was a solitary socialist, only paying it forward to those in need. Now I have the knowledge through Chairman Omali Yeshitela of what I need to do. Uhuru. And that is right. Uhuru. Everything through organization under the leadership of the Revolutionary Vanguard, the advanced detachment of the African working class, African People's Socialist Party, who we are honored to be able to have this opportunity to rejoin humanity. Thank you, Penny. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on the Solidarity Spear Study Live. I'll see you next Saturday. Uhuru, unity through reparations.